Hello?
Hello, what is up?
Everything's all good.
Oh man, freaking happy Sunday. Fucking
Happy
windy as shit by me,
Sunday.
you know?
It windy. I spent
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday today driving in the rain, misty, hard, can't see in front of me. People can't stay in their fucking lane day. That's all 3 days. That's what I dealt with. I'm so
Oh
glad it's
man.
over.
Yeah, like at first it was raining early this morning and then like the sun started coming out. I thought it was like I made a smoothie with green tea this morning because I was like I had plans. I was like, let me clean up, let me do my hair. So I'm gonna need this energy and whatnot. So then after I do all of that, do my hair, then I'm started looking outside. I see the sun all coming out. I was like, dang, I all prepared myself for like, a rainy day all day and stuff. And
Okay.
it was just, but I know I took a nap after that because I was like, I need to lay down for a sec. Um, got to cooking, made some oxtail.
Yummy.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, it really was. Oh, that all that meat fell off the bone. Like there was only a couple pieces that still had like meat on the bones, but for the most part, I just was taking the bones out the pot and putting it in this little tub I have because I'm gonna make soup, with
Oh, like
bones
a
later.
bone broth?
Oh yes, we ain't
Okay.
gonna let nothing go to waste. We're gonna use all those essential minerals and we're gonna use it to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
We just celebrated my oldest daughter's birthday. She turned
I
19 this week.
I know. I
Uh,
remember that day when she was born. No,
yeah.
that just changed my whole perspective on life. I was like, I can't just be out here willy nilly with people.
Hmm.
I was like, wow, birth is such a beautiful thing. It wasn't like, how you see stories about people talk about they pass out. Well, I think that's
Uh
more
huh.
mainly the men that be passing out, right? The women don't be passing
Yeah, I
out.
guess so. Yeah. You don't have no
So
opportunity. Maybe after the baby's out. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah. I don't remember passing out. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you did
I was
well.
I was the most awake for her. She was the one I was actually physically prepared for.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody else got bigger. The kids got bigger.
You did like a trooper. Yeah, for whatever reason, why does the body think that okay, because you had one baby, your next couple babies can be bigger?
Because yeah, the body knows better than you. Because I don't like keep them
Yeah.
small, not 10 pounds. I don't
Yeah,
want
like
10 pounds.
there was this viral video going around with this big baby too. I was like,
Hmm.
that baby looked like Quado. So anytime somebody was posting a picture, I was like, open your
Open
mind
your
to me,
mind,
queen.
Quaid.
Ooh,
Open
that
your
baby was
mind.
big. That lady looked like she pushed out a freaking toddler. Like that wasn't even no, I wasn't no. How like they have the newborn clothes. Like okay, you wear newborn size. You wear
God bless
zero to
her
three
vagina.
months. No, this baby came out. We talk about wearing some 12 month
12-month
clothes.
old clothes. About to walk. Walking right
Uh,
out the womb. Got a
mm-mm-mm.
fresh set of front teeth.
Yeah, those pictures of those babies with teeth, was those real or somebody was photoshopping them with a full set of teeth?
I have no idea. I know
You
that
never
it
seen,
happens. I know it happens,
I know
but
they
I
get
can't.
some teeth, a
Yeah,
teeth or two, but no, but these babies been having like a full set.
they had a whole row. Yes, that was
Yeah,
funny.
that's some scary shit. And then can you imagine Brett nursing them after that?
Who's
You know,
nursing
'cause
them?
I'm just saying, imagine your
I,
baby come out with teeth. You try to breastfeed. Oh hell no, you don't. They
no.
don't know. They don't know
Listen,
what they're
listen. I
capable of
spoke
yet.
to my middle child. She started getting teeth, and I said, "Don't bite me." And she chomped at me, and I said, "That's it.
I
You ain't getting no milk no
no.
more from me."
The day that my freaking son chomped down on my nipple, I was like, I ain't doing this no more.
Mm-mm. Yeah, there's a time. There's a time to put it to an end. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, we are here today, WINEFINE podcast, episode
Yeah.
28. Flying
28.
out, flying out means cheeks out. But
Flying
you
out
know,
means
before
cheeks out.
flying out means cheeks out. So before we get into that topic today, Azima, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only. And you can find me on Facebook and YouTube as OZD Wellness and Fitness. As OZIDI Wellness and Fitness. And where can we find you, Jovani?
So yeah, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. And you could also subscribe to our YouTube channel on YouTube at the Wine Fine Podcast. That's just spelled basic, WINEFINE podcast, where you can see all the episodes and plus a lot of the stuff we're going to be discussing today. It's a lot of extensive information, so the video links will be on the YouTube channel, so you
Mm-hmm.
could see and hear for yourself. So, man, this is not the first time we heard of a video like this. You know, there's been a couple of videos like this where girls are, meeting up with these guys, and they're flying out of town. I always think of I know when I was like 16, they had like a Little Kim concert and everything. I think you also even got to be careful just chilling with somebody locally too.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary out here.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was always scary. Nothing's changed.
it's always scary, but for whatever reason, it's even more scarier now because you hearing all these, you don't hear about it. They don't put it in mainstream media how all these women go missing and everything. And when when women are going missing, you kind of want to be weary, especially nowadays where it's like, it just seems like it's really rampant lately. It doesn't appear that it was like this back in the day, or maybe it was, but
Mm-hmm.
we just didn't have social media or whatever. Well, you know
Yeah.
maybe that's yeah. So it's just insane. Like
I
it
was
makes
just,
me think.
what interesting? I was watching something about freaknik in the
Mm,
past, how freaknik was like dangerous for women. Like these women, like there was no social media then, but these women would talk about how they were lucky that there was a guy who screamed out police and they didn't get raped, or there was just some guy in between them and the crowd that was trying to like touch them and feel them up at at Freaknik. And I'm just like, damn, Freaknik. I always wanted to
well,
go to
listen.
Freaknik,
Well,
but I'm
listen to
glad
this. I'm glad.
I was a
I'm
kid and
glad
I
you.
didn't have to. Yeah,
I'm
go on.
glad you brought that up because all right. So um, I came down here in Georgia when I was like 15 and stuff. So 16. Freaknik weekend or whatever. Not that I was in Freaknik. My brother and his kid's mother, they lived in downtown Atlanta where it was around the vicinity of, Freaknik or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
we were actually walking towards the house we were nowhere near where the colleges were and where all that foolishness was going on. So we walking down the street. I'm holding my nephew's hand or whatever, and there was this group of guys that was like parked. So they parked farther away from where the where the events are and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
guess they was trying to find a good parking, and then they have to walk to where the colleges was. So mind you, again, I'm gonna emphasize this. I was holding my nephew's hand,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this dude gonna grab my butt. So without even thinking about it, I didn't even the reflex. I just punched him dead in his chest, and the
Mm-hmm.
fool had the nerve to still have his hand there when I like turned around and duffed him and talk about what. I'm like, what do you mean what? And
Yeah.
it was and Yolanda was there too. My brother's children's mother, my niece and nephew's mom. She was exercising her Second Amendment. So if they wanted to take it anywhere other than what was going on, it could have
Yolanda.
very well happened.
Yeah.
Like she had that rockabye baby on her. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. you know?
I understand.
So, like I was holding my nephew's hand. What will ever make you think that I'm freaking in the freaknik facility,
You're not
festivities?
even what you wasn't even close.
I wasn't even close. We was walking to the house. We was walking to the apartments of where they lived and whatnot. So,
Hmm.
these people talk about, oh, these aunties are scared. No, these freaking men out here need to be scared or whatever. And I remember how that guy looked. He was about 5'7", 5'9", no more than 150 pounds, beige color, dumped him right in his chest. Anyway, I
Hmm.
had a moment there. So let's get back on track with this episode because it kind of got passionate about it, how people trying to make women feel bad for, twerking on the highway and stuff in traffic and all whatever other foolishness was going on. But
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of these fools out here was predators and stuff, and they, that's what they don't talk about. Anyway,
Yeah.
women, we need to know that you're not safe out here when you put yourself in vulnerable situations like this
Yeah.
video that I'm going to play in a moment here. But before we play the video, let's go ahead and grab these comments real quick.
I'm sorry, I never heard of the terminology. What does flying out means cheeks out?
Well, we've come across, numerous videos and on how these chicks, they're going to meet these guys that they meet on social media and stuff, and the guys are paying for their ticket to go out, and the girl, whatever, for whatever reason, not feeling him and kind of like doesn't want to give up the cheeks. So we kind of had to shorten the title to
Uh-huh.
to not be so long, but also to get to the point
Flying
of
out
what
means
we're going to
cheeks
talk
out.
about. Yeah, flying
Tickets
out
ain't
means
free.
cheeks out. Yeah, cheeks. Yeah, the flying out ain't free. You got to up the
No.
cheeks.
Yes,
And
yes.
let's see, we got this comment from Mr. Doctor Gives a Fuck.
This isn't social media. This is anti-social media. This is how people don't get along. It's a faster method towards prying people apart rather than using this as a platform to find a higher education or answers to questions that they normally would not be able to find the answer to, or talk to people that they normally would never brush up against, like myself, like a nuclear engineer. They use it to pry each other apart after a
Hmm.
small time period of pretending they're best friends. So it becomes an anti-social network, not a social network. The social network was something more of a pipe dream, not a realistic thing.
You're right. And things that people, the pipe dream that people come to a conclusion about never works out that way. It always ends up being the opposite. It's like that good intention thing is always paved in, what's that? What? How does that thing go? Good intentions are paved.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about that. But the good intentions are paved towards the a negative direction. That's the only conclusion I can come to right now. But yeah, it was meant for the intention of social, but it pushed us further and further apart. And if you know it, please let me know.
All right. Let's grab this comment from Chelsea.
The road to hell is paved with
That's
good
right.
intentions.
That's right. Thank you, Chelsea.
Ooh,
The road
a
to hell is paved with good intentions.
The road to hell is paved in good intentions. Wow, that really just resonates with this topic today, too, huh?
Uh huh.
Yes. So, I'm just gonna play a clip of this video. We're gonna discuss it. We're also gonna get into these IG models, and they get DM'd for bookings, and we're really just gonna get into these trips that they're taking to Dubai and just get into that. It's going to be a lot of interesting information. I'm not going to play those videos here because they're kind of, I don't want to have anybody feel like they don't want to eat anything brown or anything after that. But we'll deal with this flying out video first.
Sure thing.
Audio, rather. All right.
No. You really gonna record me? No, I didn't know. I done flew her all the way out to LA. She won't give me no cheeks. We done been FaceTiming. Come on, we been FaceTiming every day. I don't give a fuck. No, we been FaceTiming every day. Are you really taking me all the way back to the fucking airport? You really taking me back to the airport? Yes, you going to the fucking airport. Yes, you going. And you taking me back to the airport because of what? Tell me why. You don't give me no cheeks. Nigga, I'm not fucking obligated to give you no my what? I flew you out. Nigga, what are you talking about? Nigga, you're lame as fuck. No, you're lame as fuck. No, you're fucking lame. You're lame. Just take me to the fucking airport. Just get me there. Just get me there. Walk around my crib, titties out and stuff like that, taking showers in my shower. Nigga, it's my body. What are you talking about? I don't care. You can't. I don't have to give you my coochie. Showers in my house. Are you okay? No. I don't have to give you my coochie. Laying in my bed? No. You want to get dropped off at the airport? Oh, I don't even know why the fuck I came here. Look, she didn't want to give me no cheeks. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Stop recording me. She didn't want to give me no cheeks. Stop recording me, nigga. Don't fly her out. Give me the phone. Watch out. Don't touch my phone. Stop touch my phone. No. Don't fly her out. Look, don't fly her out. Bruh, you... She ain't trying to call off no cheeks. I've been FaceTiming her. This is my cheeks, nigga. This is my ass. That's my coochie. What are you talking about? For 2 months. I don't have to give you no... Nigga, just get me there. I don't care, nigga. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care about none of that shit. Meet out on FaceTime. She flirting and stuff. You want a free trip? You wanted to whip your wiener out, nigga. I ain't asked you to put it in the fucking camera. Okay, I'm about to whip over here and drop your ass up, too. Whatever, nigga. Just get me there. I don't even know why the fuck I came here. I don't even know why I came here. I don't know why you came either. You're a lame ass nigga. You're a lame ass nigga. You a lame ass nigga. She need a cane. You knew you walked through that shit. You shouldn't even cane. You should have said you can't get no coochie. How to? What? You told me I had to get coochie? Yes. I did. Nigga, come on. Yes. I flew you out with the coach. Yeah.
All right, so it is a 11-minute video. We're not going to play the whole video, but, you know.
I flew you out for the coochie.
Yeah? So who's right or wrong here? They're both right and they're both wrong.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
They are. I mean, okay.
They weren't being too social.
We can't be here and be naive, right?
Some people try, but no, you can't.
We can't. Before we get into the ins and out of that, right? So you remember when I was kind of like discussing there was a Little Kim concert when I was like 16 years old. I didn't get to go to the concert, but my sister went, my brother went, and you know my nephews and niece mom went to the event or whatever. So they was basically, she told me that there was girls going backstage and everything. They was like, look, the weed free, the coke free, the drinks is free just as long as you are free. You know, the moment that you have any of that stuff, you are obligated to do whatever here. So, not saying that this was the case with that, but you know, I do want to bring up the point that women can't be naive out here dealing with, you know, these type of people because they may not communicate what their intentions are. But there is an expectation that, hey, if you have some of my weed, you have some of my coke, you have some of these alcohol. Hey, if I even fly you out to my crib across the country, you know, there's an expectation that I'm getting the cheeks.
I see.
So
yeah,
I know that we was getting some comments while the video was playing. Before we just get into those points, let's grab these comments.
So I went out with a guy who wanted to fly me out to like where he was. It was just a couple states away. And, you know, a good friend helped me realize that, like, what are you doing? Like, he's going to expect something. So if you're not going there with that intention, like, you're dumb for doing this. And I was a little offended, but you know what? Also a little naive. And I ended up appreciating that advice because now I get it. But when I was just thinking of it more innocently or naively as like, okay, you know, I'm stepping up with the guys that I'm dating. This guy could fly me out. Like, not realizing that, you know, somebody's doing that before they even know who you are, then they definitely are probably going to want something in exchange for it.
Yeah,
Man. Like,
see, that's why you need those aunties, those cousins. You need somebody to tell you, because sometimes you're not thinking in that direction. You just need somebody to tell you what's up. More
and
connection.
I'll even give another like example with, you know, myself or whatever. Like, so when I was in high school and stuff, there was she was a senior in high school, and so I had a friend that was a senior in high school and stuff. I was in 10th grade at the time, or was I in 11th grade? It was 10th, 11th grade, whatever. But we went to this club, and she had like this African friend that she knew, this guy, and There was another girl with us. She was pregnant, but they all took us out to the club. And mind you, I'm not even old enough to get in the club or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, they took us to 112, and we went to this other like well-known club in like Atlanta at the time too. But they was buying us drinks and everything, and it came to a point where I was like, nah, you can't touch me. And then guy got mad and stuff. Because he was like, "How you gonna say you can't touch you anybody?" Oh yeah, you can't touch me because for what, I'm really not even supposed to be in here, But they paid extra, got us in. They didn't check, they didn't check the ID or whatever. So, that
Mm-hmm.
was one story where it was like, but I wasn't with the chick. I didn't know that we was going out with guys and stuff. That was like
Mm-hmm.
kind of found that out after. Well, oh, grown ass men, because that's what they were. And yeah,
Yeah.
they had the expectations, and it was funny because like we went inside Denny's, I think, but then they left because it was like, oh, we're not buying them food because they don't, basically, don't want us touching them. So it's like, dang, y'all think just because you buy some drinks, buy some food that y'all just supposed to get whatever you want, but we have to remember that's how these guys, a lot of these men think that will leave with their money, that they'll buy you a plane ticket, buy you some food. You hear these crazy stories online. I see these videos talk about, oh, the guy bought us some food. Oh, you're not giving no cheeks up? Okay, separate bills, please. And you don't ever want
Mm-hmm.
to be in a situation like that.
This shit
So,
happens though. It happens without you even knowing. It just
true, true,
happens.
true. Absolutely. We got another comment here from Chelsea.
He should get a sugar baby or an escort service if that's what he's looking for. Like, come on. Like, nobody is ever obligated to give you sex. But just like you said, we need to be careful and not put ourselves in situations where we are vulnerable or we can be taken advantage of. But
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless, yeah, he's whack.
Yeah. I mean, yes, look, I'm totally with you on there that we should never have to feel obligated to give anyone our body. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to remember that, men, they tend to be stronger than women, and unless you're skilled in some type of self-defense, martial arts, women really shouldn't be out there like that trying to get these trips with these guys, or just going out with the guys, because some of them can't handle rejection. And then what
Yep.
happens? Then if they take it forcefully, people are always going to point the eyes on you. Well, what were you wearing? Or, what did you drink? Or,
There, there
why were
was
you with him?
there
Then
was a
that's going to come
story in
up.
Europe. There was a story in Europe. This lady wore tight jeans and was raped, and they blamed her. They said there's no way that he could have pulled those jeans off of her without her assistance. Therefore, she wasn't raped. She was a consenting adult, and he got away with murder. So,
Oh,
you
shit.
know, it, I look at it as you're gonna get caught out in these situations anyways. You know,
Yeah,
it just is it. You know, as a female, it's just hard. You know,
yeah, you gotta.
I try not to judge anybody regardless
No, you
of,
shouldn't.
but yeah, shit happens, and it's gonna be your fault regardless, depending on where you are, depending on who you talk to, and you just, as long as you're right with yourself and you know that you had no intention of this happening, then you know you can move on with life. But shit,
Yeah.
shit
But,
happens.
well, yeah, man. We just can't be playing naive out there. And,
Hmm.
And another thing, even though I didn't play the whole video, right? So the guy was the one that purchased the ticket for the girl, but when he took
Yes.
her to the airport, he canceled um, the doggone ticket, and she didn't even have no money to buy
Hmm.
her own ticket. So that's another thing that, hey, if you don't have at least a credit card to buy your own way
Back.
back,
Then you
you
shouldn't be
should
going in the first place.
that. Like, I was always told ever since I was young, don't go nowhere with no money. Don't go nowhere with no
Hmm.
money. And that's
Yes.
the last thing you want to do is
And that's
go
why I
somewhere
don't go
with no
nowhere.
money. And then you got to explain. And if you don't have the money, you got to probably reach out to some friends or family members. Um,
That's if you got them.
Yeah. If
Most of
you
these
got
people
them,
in
but you
this
better have a.
situation, they are in this situation because they don't got nobody telling them what the fuck is going on. Like, where you going? Oh, you getting flew out? Nah, I don't think you should do that. Not everybody got that kind of system. That it's that relaying the story. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happened to me, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm wise to it now. You don't know if nobody tells you. You don't know if it's wrong. I feel like she kind of knew though, but
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe she
Just
thought that this guy, I like
that.
him, and
Yeah. You know what? That could have. You know what?
I trust him. We talked for two
Mm-hmm.
months on the FaceTime. When I get there, I'm not giving up the ass, because I really want to get to know him more. And
You
his
know.
intentions was completely unknown. God knows.
You know.
Like I
One
said,
thing
shit
is for
happens.
sure. I gotta
Mhm.
give it to these people who meet online and they have, I guess, successful relationships and stuff. Because it's like, I'm big on vibes. So, even though that they were FaceTiming and whatnot,
Mhm.
and, they're talking for 2 months, they could have had
Mhm.
a good vibe, but it could have been like totally different when she got on the scene with him. He may
Yeah.
have had his phone at different angles to make him look all tall, but what if he was shorter than her?
Mhm.
So, that's just, some things that happen. Or, he could have somehow had an older pickup. Well, no, if he was FaceTiming, of course he's gonna show him.
No.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just insane. I wouldn't mess with it. But let's grab these comments.
That's why these women and girls should have their own money and stop playing with these guys that expect stuff from them.
Yeah. Like I said, the problem is you don't know what anybody expects from you until you encounter them. It's you just gotta assume. I think people need to be more discerning, in order to, like, it just doesn't sound right. Like, I like him, he likes me. We're just gonna stay talking on the phone until I can get out there myself, because it's no different from going out, to a club, or going to a concert. You want to go and you want to have your own shit. She should not have left if she ain't got no money.
Mm-mm.
That's something that she should have said to herself without him even being a part of the story. I can't go nowhere. I ain't got shit. I
Nope.
can't.
No.
This ain't Pretty Woman. That was a movie. This is real life. I ain't got no money. I'm just not gonna go nowhere. And let them know,
Damn
I
right.
can't come. I don't got no money. Well, I'll pay for it. Now I'm good. Thank you, though. You're so sweet.
Like, oh, you don't gotta worry about nothing. No.
I worry about everything.
Yeah, you
So
got
I
to.
got
You
I
gotta be
got I
careful
got
of them.
expensive taste. I like shrimp and lobster.
You don't like shrimp and lobster. You lie.
But that's what you
uh,
say.
yeah. Or you could just be like, or you could turn them off and be like, I don't get fellatio. That turns the guys off.
It does.
Yeah, it does. You'd be like, oh no, I don't get fellatio. So,
Yeah, I
like,
never gave him head before. I,
like, oh,
I
I'm
fear
not
that I
good at
might
it.
bite.
Yeah, I give the teeth. Let's grab this other
I
comment.
got a bad case of
Their
lockjaw.
relationships worked because they probably had patience for each other. They probably really respected each other. But
Yep.
these guys, these women are meeting, they don't respect these women. So they're expecting them to give up right then and there.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, figure. Hmm.
Mm.
What we saying?
No, I'm saying so. All right, so I'm glad that was brought up because now let's
The
get into
respect.
the respect part. So now let's get into these influencers and IG models, right?
Hmm.
So you see these IG models, and I was looking at a slew of these YouTube videos where people were, the people were basically saying these IG models can't possibly be making that much or Fashion Nova and Shein to afford these trips to Dubai and everything. And here's a way that you could kind of spot these chicks out. where they are open to go to like Dubai. You'll see in their bio, DM me for bookings. Like, what do you do? Are
Mm-hmm.
you a singer? You a rapper? You're an actress? You don't see none of that in there. You just see that they're a model, and that's it. So some of the stories they kind of like harsh to like just listen to, but I'll just give you guys some of the stuff that I just took some notes for with the confessions that some of these chicks made. We got one talking about that she was wined and dined, was given all types of shrimp, lobster, champagne. She was able to go to all those nice name brand stores, Yves Saint Laurent, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and just go ham on shopping. But
Mm-hmm.
later on that night, she would get gang banged by 20 Saudi Arabian men, defecated
Okay.
on and pissed on,
That.
shit on her chest, pissed in her mouth. They even make them eat the shit. They'll
Mm.
put their semen on their face, and they're not allowed to wipe any of that off.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, basically.
Gag.
It is a gag. So TikTok was probably like like I've heard of stuff like this, but the way that I heard about, they usually call this Swedish showers and golden showers when you're like eating somebody's feces or drinking their, urine.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that would be done by CEO white collared men who have so much control in their lives that when it came to having like an escort, they get turned on by being disrespected and being subservient and being submissive and stuff. That turns them on. So then when I heard recently about that the women are doing this, I'm like, what in the heck are y'all doing? Y'all hustling backwards here. Y'all taking this hold'em to a whole nother level. Like they so there was a viral video
You
back
said hold
in
him.
Hold 'em, yes, because that the hoard them. That's what it is, man. Like, what are
Okay.
y'all doing? Like, y'all tripping. So TikTok put out a viral video back in like around this time last year, where there was a video of a man sitting on top of a woman, and he was basically hunched over her mouth and just defecating in her mouth. Like
Gag.
it's gag. And I mean, they give these women
Mm-mm.
money,
Mm-mm.
but it's like, is that 50K really worth it to be like,
Mm.
having somebody take laxative, and they take laxative that whole weekend so they can have an ongoing flow of, you know, basically pissing out their asses,
Going
like
flow.
an ongoing flow of shit.
Oh God.
That's
Okay.
fucking disgusting. I don't like. I know that the best way to grow veggies and stuff is like with manure, but I hope they don't kind of like picture that and be like, okay, well, our veggies are growing manure, so this is the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. This is this is freaking men that you don't even know what the heck they have. I'm sure you don't see
Mm-hmm.
their papers to see if they have any type of incurable diseases, and
Mm-hmm.
they also make these women have sex with dogs and 14-year-old boys and stuff. Let's grab this comment because I'm just I need to know what y'all thinking on this.
How did this get so nasty? Like, this is disgusting.
Hey, this is what some
Reality.
naive women are out there doing. They are
I
going
wouldn't. Would you call
across
them
the world.
naive? They know exactly
I
what they're doing. I think that's not naive.
Well,
You
there's
know,
some
they
confessions
making
where the
bookings.
girl, yeah, well, there's even one girl that was like, oh, cheering on her friend, like, oh, go ahead and do it. It'll be okay. And, you'll have so much fun. You'll make so much money. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And there was this one chick, she was kind of like justifying what she was doing. She was like, yeah, whatever. she's been with a 14-year-old boy and proud of it because she has $1 million in her bank now. Now, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken, I know there was a point where there was a lot of like grown men that would go to Thailand and they would have relations with children and stuff. And if they were found out that they did that over here, and they're citizens, that they would go to jail for that, or they would find a way to
Mhm.
get them in jail. So I'm sure that's the same thing with this. And I wouldn't dare. These chicks is crazy to even mention that they did that,
Mhm.
and they having sex with like animals, like horses and stuff. I'm just like, what in the world? And I understand that this sounds nasty, people, but this is like reality of what a naive female can do, or what the love of money. And
Mhm.
we really shouldn't have that love of money like that, that we're willing to do whatever. We have to have some boundaries.
The love
And
of fiat.
no, I'm sorry, money's not worth it for at all for my soul
Not money
to be
that's not
put.
backed by gold. No. No.
No, it's definitely not backed by gold at
No.
all. But
Mm-mm.
they're giving the girls like US dollars and stuff, but they're getting them from like Canada. There was a chick from Canada that she didn't tell her boyfriend till like a year later, and she had to go get therapy after that. I would imagine, yes, you would definitely need some therapy after that to be just force. And it's not just the men from Dubai or the Saudi
Mhm.
Arabian men, it's also the European men that will go over there and do this as well. Get all these nice
Mhm.
pretty girls, and they look all cute, and they have their BBLs, their nice body, and then here this European man is defecating in a bucket, and then he's feeding one of the girls his.
No.
Yes. And they make the
No.
girls, and then if you don't play the whole game or stay the whole weekend, you don't get your money. Like you have to thug it out the whole weekend. Like they drinking vomit. It's just you can't just expect to be flown out to these places and not think that there's a price. There's always going to be a price no matter what you do.
Yeah, that is true. Like I said, it costs you. It costs you
Yes.
something.
Yeah, it'll definitely cost. But I don't know if there was a tweet from Ashanti back on March 22 of 2014. I don't know if she was trolling, but she basically put on her Instagram, and you could check it now because it's still there. She said, "What happens in Dubai stays in Dubai." So what do we think about that?
I feel
Do
like
we
she was
think
trolling. I
you
think
think
she
she
was
was
just
trolling?
cracking jokes. She was cracking jokes, and maybe some females she know. What happens in Dubai stays in Dubai.
Yeah.
You don't say like something like that. Bring attention to yourself. Was she smiling, laughing? Because I
Well,
wasn't even
actually,
paying
she had her
attention.
back turned. She has on like this dress. She has on one of them easy access dress that like is just a zipper down in the back, and
Oh,
it's like
I
a
like
blue
cute
dress.
dresses.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's two dress, but she's looking. She's not showing her face.
Oh, okay. Mm. No, I don't know
So,
what to say.
but the comments were funny. Somebody comments her. So, did you get pooped on while you were out there? They put that
Mm.
out there 3 weeks ago, and then yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
2014. I don't think anybody was asking that question then. But
Yeah, it
when
started go.
things are brought to light, and you see something from back then you're like, question.
Yeah, this I mean,
Yeah.
it's really started coming out the woodwork back in 2016.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. That's interesting that she would say
yeah, it
something
is.
like that.
I don't know. And that wouldn't be like if that was the case where she was a part of that. There's other like celebrities that they talk about have went over there,
Hmm.
to and I'm just like, oh no, that's just crazy. I can't imagine, like, how do you just prepare yourself for that? I don't even like. I don't. I don't
You gotta
even
psych
like
yourself out.
going. Nah, I don't even
Look in
like.
the mirror and say, I'm gonna eat shit today, but I'm gonna make
Yeah.
millions of dollars. Woosai. You got this, Azima. You know?
You can do
Gosh,
it. No.
you can.
Let's grab this comment right here.
It's always been this bad. The thing was, it was never broadcasted before because there was never an internet like we have now. So nobody
That's,
really, caught wind of it unless they were in special groups or something. But
mm-hmm.
now that it's exposed itself, the sadder part is that no one's actually doing anything about it.
Exactly.
I mean, the only thing that can be done about it is the chicks stop going out there and doing this. But, there are those women that are willing to do something strange for some change.
Look at you dropping bars. The strange things for some change.
Strange for some change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'd rather work at a McDonald's drive-through, and instead of doing that, I'd rather wait tables. No,
No? No wait tables?
I'd rather wait tables.
I'm sure there's plenty of things that people would rather do than go over there and do that. You know. But then, like you said, the love for money will have you doing a lot of strange things. There's people doing a lot worse than that, you know.
You
I'm sure
think?
those women getting flued out and nobody's finding them again is because they probably are stealing their organs or sex trade, they're now a sex slave somewhere, inside a bin waiting for somebody to pick them up, pick them. You know what I mean? Like there's so many negative things that can happen besides being shat on.
Yeah, because also, if the girls refuse to do it, then they end up killing them. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Remind me of
don't
that
know.
movie Taken.
Yeah, exactly. I seen that a
Yeah,
couple weeks ago too. It's
yeah.
crazy. I know for
So,
me, I never like seen anything exciting about Dubai. Like the men like in those countries, like I don't know. They don't I don't like their attitude towards women, to say the least.
well,
And
it's cultural.
yeah, I know it's cultural, so that's
Yeah.
why I would never go over there. You ain't gonna catch me swallowing no fecal cake.
I just say, I'm good right where I'm at. Like the men here
Yeah,
have their own interesting issues, and why would I want to go anywhere else where it just seems worse. I might as well
yeah,
just stay here and deal with the BS here. That's all I'm
yeah.
saying. I'm not you won't ever hear me say, "Oh, I'm flying to Europe." I don't care to fly anywhere. I'm a United States citizen for life. In the in the sense of,
Actually,
being in the United States, I'm not really a citizen, but that's not the point. The point
yeah,
is I'm here for life.
yeah,
Wherever the parts of the Americas, that's where I'll be. In the Americas. You won't catch
yes.
me in Europe, anywhere else. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, man. And I know the girl in Canada, so her boyfriend did end up breaking up with her. Can you blame her? Can blame him? I mean,
What do you
like,
mean?
why? Like, if you had a boyfriend, what you doing going out, getting winding down by other men?
She collecting the money.
But I get it. But look what happened. Like, you can't be doing that stuff, and you I don't know. You can't expect a happy life doing stuff like that. And look where it
No.
got her.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
Yeah.
I think he knew she was going that way. It
You,
was about the money, and then, like, just like her, it's not something that she wanted to do or expected to do. Got the money, and she came back, and he's like, "Oh, you got the money? What'd you do?" And then she tell him what she did, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like that." But how much money? And then it's more like, I think he knew that she was going there for such and such reason, and he was perfectly fine with it. But when she came back and he knew that she did it, that's when everything just went south. That's how I feel
yep.
about that.
Porta potties. Let's
A
grab
lot
this
of these
comment.
people, a lot of these guys know that their girls are doing these things. Not
And
all
I
these
don't.
IG models are single. That's all
Yep.
I know.
Let's grab this comment.
Of course, these women and girls are putting themselves in a very vulnerable situation, and they're thinking they
Compromised.
have the upper hand because they're fooling
No,
the
you
Yeah.
guy,
don't.
but they don't know who they're dealing with. It might be a serial killer, it might be a very violent man that they're dealing with, and they need to really think about the way they're doing the things.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially since there's some confessions where they thought it was just gonna be one guy, and then a bunch of them came out and just they be doing all types of stuff to them. Like they basically be like really just abusing them to the
Hmm.
point where they're like sticking all types of stuff in their body, and it's making them crawl on the floor and ugh,
Yep. It's
it's
like you
just and
can't.
they make them lay there in that
It's
stuff.
it's the intention that turns me off. When I don't know the intent, the purpose, there's no point. And I think
You know?
everybody should always think about intention and purpose for yourself. What do you intend to do? What is your purpose? And what do you think that person is? And if you can't figure out what their purpose is, then it ain't worth it. It ain't
Yeah,
worth it
sure,
at
the money
all.
sound nice, but it's like you still got to look at yourself in the mirror after that. Like I can't, I don't, there's just some things that you just got to know that you're willing to go to jail for and that you're willing to die for, and this would be one of those things for me, you know. So
Yeah. See,
yeah, this I'm sorry,
I'm like I end up
I'm not
murdering
eating shit.
somebody. So
Like I'm not eating shit. No, sorry. I don't care. You give me. You can present me with all types of money. I'm not eating shit. It's shit. That's waste coming
hmm
out the body.
yeah,
Urine. That drink, eating up your own vomit. Like it's
it's all
you
good.
know,
You keep it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, we definitely, for the women listening or the future women listening, kind of don't put yourselves in a situation like that because, you know, we don't know if these, men, of course, are serial killers, which, there's got to be something wrong with you to want to see somebody do that. Like
Hmm.
who the hell gets, well, obviously they get pleasure from doing that, but it's like I wouldn't even want to be around you, like knowing that
That's it.
stuff
That's
like
if
that
you
turns
knew.
you on.
That's if you knew.
That's if I know, but you kind
Hmm.
of know now because we got the internet. Like, yes, I heard it's been going on, long time. He's not here right now, but Mister Gives a Fuck, he posted that it's been going on a while. But yeah, it would be in like those crazy magazines and stuff. You would see that,
Eyes wide
and
shut. That's when
right,
I saw it. I
exactly.
was like, crazy stuff. I was like, wow, that really happens. I was always wondering. Yeah, that's a definitely eyes wide shut moment when you walk into a room and you see all that happening or see what they want to do and you're like, oh no, can't turn back. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Can you imagine that they probably, you hear all these Illuminati stuff from the about the celebrities and stuff. They probably see
Hmm.
all their foolishness and everything. I know they probably definitely see those children getting violated, because I be watching that Burrow channel on Roku. I'm like, oh my goodness.
No, that's horrible.
It is horrible. And, it's just to the point now, I guess there's just an influx of money in the world, and people just do whatever it takes to get it. And they don't, you know, you just gotta be, I feel like you just gotta be dead inside, have a dead soul to be able to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, must be.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you have a conscience, a heart, and then do something like that?
You
Or
don't.
you only do it to a specific person, and it's not to everyone, just these type of people. It's
Yeah, I'm sure.
because there shouldn't be a type. There shouldn't be any specific person. You should have just like I wouldn't do that to no one. Because if you got a type, that means that you're still crazy and sadistic and you want to harm people, someone, you know?
It kind of makes me think about like how do they treat like what do they do with the women? Like their own women over there, you know?
And probably treat them like gold.
You think I don't think so. Well,
No, no, they probably treat them like gold. That's what I think. It's like we call it this TV show. You remember Dexter? He had a family. He had a sister. He had family, and he was normal to them. As what he did to the people that that he didn't like. Which is kind of the people that were just like him, and those are the ones he harmed. So I
mm,
think there's always like a person, a type that they go for, and then like they won't do that to they think doesn't deserve that kind of treatment. They save all that animosity, all that anger for that specific type, even though that type didn't do shit to them, and they're really upset with the type that they deal with and think they shouldn't treat that way. They'll do it to that type of person because they believe they deserve it.
sort of like Joe and You from Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
fucking weirdo.
So
And that's really
They fly. They
reality, I
fly
guess.
those. They fly those type of girls. If you put yourself in that situation, they put you in that category of that type, and then they expect you to eat their shit because you're that type of girl that would. Because only you would do it for money.
Hmm.
You don't have standards. You know.
Yeah, that's why you got to know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Yes, know thyself. Be
Yes.
aware. Do things with your own intention, so then other people's intentions won't supersede it
Right.
because you already
Right.
know what you
Exactly.
what you're about. Yeah.
Let's grab this comment from Campbell.
To me, it's like complaining about being used and abused when you're using and abusing someone.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh,
See, I feel like that's what if you look at it the other side of the story, these guys who are flying them out, they feel like they were being used. Like you used me
right.
to get this ticket, and then when you got here, you didn't want nothing to do with me. You just wanted to hang out in Miami. I flew you to Miami to be with me and to do things with me and to be physical with me. And you like, the moment you touch down, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go my own way now. You use me. You use my money to get that plane ticket to somewhere you wanted to visit, and now you don't want to hang out with me anymore,
Yeah, that's
and
see
that's why
that's
I'm going to cancel the plane flight back.
see that's the downside about, all these like not meeting somebody in person. Like a lot can be like people's time will not be wasted if we just was able to just meet people in person and that's that. But it's like when
It's a
you
big
just meet
world
it,
now.
yeah, it's a big world. When you meet somebody online, like I freaking cringe when somebody be like, oh, like I know somebody was like, oh, I should invite you to Ghana. Like, nigga, I ain't going to no fucking Ghana. Like, I don't know you. Like,
Hmm.
like these fools out here crazy. Like, I ain't going. Like, hey, I ain't flying
I
nowhere.
realize
Like,
I
uh-uh.
realize, because I talk about being Nigerian, and the that Nigerian men that see that I'm Nigerian always talking about, oh, I can take care of you. I'll fly you out here, and I'll do this for you and stuff like that. And I'm like, you don't know me.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't know who I am. And I know Nigerian mothers. They ain't very nice. That I know. Like it's not gonna work.
I remember back in when I was still living in New York and going to BMCC, there was this chick, I believe she was from Ghana too. She was like, "Oh my God, you should come to Ghana with me. All the guys are gonna want you and buy you a car and stuff." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great." But she was kind of giving me them vibes, like kind of like trying to find women here to take back there, that type of thing.
I remember back in the days they used to do that with clubs. Like somebody would try to
Yeah,
befriend you so you can like fill up the club. But I didn't like that either. I'm like, I ain't going to that club. I don't know that place. I ain't going there.
yeah.
And then all there is dudes inside there, and you're like the only female, and they're trying to hump
Oh,
your
that's
leg.
Oh,
You
that's the
know,
word. Like a sausage fest.
I think that was like I ain't going to no clubs no more. This is crazy. It just got kept on getting worse and worse. Just
Yeah, I know it's
the
even worse
amount of
now.
men
Like,
that was in there compared to females. Yeah, it was
yeah,
crazy.
cause dudes, when I remember I seen a video where a chick like kind of was like rejected a dude and he punched her. Like, she
Mm-mm.
wasn't trying to give her phone number. I don't even want to be out in the street anymore, out anywhere where there's a bunch of people. Like, and then that happens. Like, no, I'm not feeling you. And then they get mad because they can't handle rejection.
Yeah,
That happens a lot.
I say I'm good not being in that position because I don't know what I'm capable of. So it's best I don't I I don't do it. Shit.
Yeah, I don't want to be in no situation where I gotta test my adrenaline levels and stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm like, because I feel like, to be honest, women are just as dangerous as men.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of men that can confirm that. And you don't know what their intentions are. And it's best to just be careful in general. You know, a lot of these women are out there waiting for you to turn your head to, put something in your drink.
yeah, women
The
can be
we
predators too.
Cardi B said she did that shit back when she
Hey,
was a stripper.
yeah, how about the chick that thought it was a good idea to take when she was with Drake, thought it was a good idea to take the condom out the trash and he put hot sauce in it.
That sounds like she was comfortable. So,
Yeah, he put
like,
freaking
I
hot
wash
sauce.
my back because I'm not just
Uh-uh.
anybody.
I mean, women be predators out here too. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody got to be careful out here, no matter what. So
That's right.
remember, everybody, don't go
I just,
anywhere if you have no intentions of giving up the cheeks if you get flown out. Definitely make sure you're protecting your drinks. If you do decide to go out somewhere, make sure you have money to get back home just in case a situation happens where you're not feeling the situation and you're ready to go and dude's canceling your flight. Um, And of course, guys, look out for the chicks who got DM for bookings on their Instagram profile.
she ain't about you. She ain't about you at all.
Nope. So,
Mm-mm.
woo, this subject really flew the time by.
Yeah, it certainly did.
Let's grab a comment.
You know what's funny? All this makes sense, but there's going to be those people that are going to say, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. So, people are going to be the way they are.
People
Oh
be
yeah,
peopling.
most definitely. They're gonna be playing naive. They're gonna just, be in situations where they're gonna regret it, or they can
Mm-hmm.
just be a lesson for somebody else. You know. We need those people too.
I think that's the worst. I'd hate being a lesson for someone else.
I ain't being a lesson
That's
for someone
whack.
else. You ain't gonna catch me. You ain't gonna catch me talk about, oh, I'm in Dubai, or oh, he flew me out. I ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm. I don't want to be nobody's lesson. Let's just take heed, please. Yeah, I think the day of lessening should be over. We all know better, and let's just keep ourselves out of that story, that plot line, that
Let's
twist.
not force things. If it happens effortlessly, like,
Yeah,
just
I
don't
was
be
just I was
forcing
just
things.
saying to myself, how do you know when something's about to go awry? Like, what spider senses go off and says, I think I'm not going to do this. Like, I feel like we all need more of that tingle that says don't do it.
That
Not
gut
like
feeling,
fear.
man.
Yeah, not like
That,
fear. Just like something that's just saying, nah,
that
just stay
voice.
home. Yeah,
It's
that
that voice.
voice.
You gotta listen to that soft, calm voice that says, "Don't go."
Mm-hmm. Don't go.
Listen to that voice.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Don't ignore that voice. Instead, ignore the voice that goes, "Do it, do it, do it. Let's go, 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 go." Ignore that voice. But listen to the voice that says, no, don't go. This is not a
Yeah,
good idea.
yeah. That's
Oh,
the
man.
same voice that says go buy that bag, and you're like, wait a minute, but I don't have the cash. Use your credit. No, I'm not doing
No,
it. Yeah,
do it. Oh,
same
man.
voice, same voice. Listen to him or her.
So, yes, we are at the 9 o'clock hour. Man, I
Yeah.
love this. I wanted to talk about these porta potty girls for a while too. So
Mm. You said porta potty.
they porta potty girls,
Okay.
Dubai porta potty girls.
Potty. Okay. I gotcha. Okay.
And let's have it.
There's that terminology that says the devil made me do it.
Mm.
Ah, no, no, you're not about to be blaming the devil for nothing.
I think the devil will be pissed off. I'm like, nah, that's not how that works. I'm just waiting
Yeah,
for you to fuck up. That's what the
yeah,
devil's just waiting for you to fuck up. Don't blame me.
absolutely. But
So,
man, we got some good comments in. Definitely got some good points in.
hmm
Azima, where can everyone find you?
you can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima, Azima, the Only. And you can find me on Facebook and YouTube as OZD Wellness and Fitness, as OZIDI Wellness and Fitness. And where can we find you, Jovani?
Oh, yes, that's on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Camp Jogofit. That's KampJogofit. And also subscribe to the WINEFINE podcast on YouTube as well. And we'll be here again next week, same time, same place for
All
episode
right.
29.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk